Welcome to Fight Club 24/7. My name's Johnny Rashman. Right, let's get straight into it. The Sun are reporting that Anthony Joshua is set to leave Sky Sports and head over to Dazn. Right. First of all, anything, right, that the Sun reports, you've got to take with a pinch of salt because they will literally post anything with absolutely no substance behind it. They'll just post it, right? Now, I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying it is true. But you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. No one else is really reporting it, but it may be true, right? So I'm going to talk about it. Right. There's a lot of people saying, oh, Eddie Hearn's been loyal to AJ and AJ should be loyal to Eddie Hearn and it's only right he should go with Eddie Hearn. Let me tell you something, right? Do you know who made Eddie Hearn? Sky Sports, right? Eddie Hearn didn't make Sky Sports. Sky Sports made Eddie Hearn, right? Do not forget that. A promoter is only as good as their broadcaster, right? It doesn't matter who you are. Eddie Hearn didn't wake up one day and was the best promoter in boxing. Believe you me, Sky Sports backed him heavily, right? They had a great relationship. Now, don't get me wrong. Eddie Hearn transformed UK boxing. He did. The events he put on, the fight cards, I mean, the early days, especially from 2012 to 2017, we just had a glorious period. The best period of British boxing ever. At one point, I think we had 12 or 13 world champions. We had more world champions than Mexico at one point and the USA. I'm pretty sure of that. Like, we were flying at one point. We had so many world champions. I think it was 2013-14. So many world champions. We were absolutely flying. Now, Eddie Hearn did transform it, right? And he is the best promoter in boxing. But never, ever forget that Sky Sports made Eddie Hearn, right? Because the broadcaster is king. So you've got to ask yourself this. When Eddie Hearn left Sky, after 9 years, 8-9 years, he left them with nothing. Absolutely nothing. Shot out of town. Took all the fighters, everything. Left Sky Sports with nothing. So that's not loyalty, is it? I know Eddie says, I think Sky would have said, great deal, son, take it. But it ain't loyalty, is it? Now, look, don't get me wrong. Eddie Hearn was absolutely right to take that offer. Who's not going to take that offer, right? I think Sky weren't investing in boxing as much as they were in previous years. Obviously, with the pandemic, that would have made a big impact. So if some company is going to give you millions of pounds, literally, near probably to the billions, right? Just millions and millions of pounds, right? You're not going to say no, are you? And Eddie Hearn has more control at DAZN, so I get it, right? I'm not saying he was wrong to leave Sky, but what I'm saying is there was no loyalty there, right? So Eddie Hearn can't really talk about loyalty, really. So you've got to remember he did leave Sky. Now, is this affecting the youth rematch, the announcement? Because again, it's another tactic from Eddie where he will just constantly say, we've got a date coming, we'll announce it on this date. So there's always an announcement about an announcement and about an announcement. And we've been down this road before, haven't we, with AJ Fury, right? So we know there's something going on behind the scenes, whether he wants AJ to have more time with his trainer, whether this is playing a part, the contractual problems with AJ, because now he's a free agent, right? The last USEC fight was the last fight with Sky Sports. So what we were led to believe, and Eddie Hearn said himself, really, that AJ will probably sign with Sky and that DAZN will air his fights outside of the UK, So that looked like that was going to happen. But apparently, according to The Sun, DAZN are coming in with a massive offer, right, that are going to blow Sky out of the water. So I think this is having an issue with the fight. It's got to. What's going to happen? You've got to ask yourself this. If you're Sky Sports, right, you've backed AJ from the beginning. Never mind Eddie. Sky as well has also been with AJ from the fucking beginning. Now, AJ was a star anyway, coming off the Olympics. It wasn't hard to build him into a household name, was it? But Sky got behind him, backed him with fortunes, right? And Sky's marketing machine can never be overestimated. It's a phenomenal powerhouse, right? Sky Sports marketing machine will make you a star. It's proven, it's tested, it works, right? DAZN isn't. DAZN doesn't. It's not. With DAZN at the moment, they're just throwing money. It's just throwing. Here you go, 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 here you go. And fair fucking play. They're really trying, right? They're really getting behind Eddie, and they're really trying to cement themselves in the boxing market. But at some point, investors are going to turn around and say, we're not getting a fucking return on our money here. We're just losing. Are we going to actually make money? Now, this is a long-term game, right? It is. But for me, it stinks a little bit of desperation with DAZN now. The thing that was alarming for me was when Serrano and Taylor fought, right? Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. People might not look into this. I do. The fact that Eddie Hearn was basically using Jake Paul to promote that fight. Now, I get it. Look, you use Jake Paul. I would have done the same, but in a bit of a different way. But you had to use him, right? Because he will bring non-boxing fans, right? He'll bring more eyes to it. But the whole promotion was centered on Jake Paul. And if you need Jake Paul to promote the biggest women's fight in boxing, you've got fucking issues. I don't care what anyone fucking says. And I think Eddie was a bit uncomfortable with it. You've got fucking issues, right? So we all know DAZN's got problems. It's got major problems with getting the message out, with it not being on mainstream TV. A lot of the events can go under the radar. If you don't watch the app or if you don't follow Matchroom on social media, there's zero build-up. Absolutely nothing. No build-up. Right? When you're on mainstream TV like Showtime or Sky Sports, you can cross-promote, can't you? So when Premier League football's on, you can say, right, the AJ fight's on this Saturday, and you can pull it on Sky Sports News, and do you know what I mean? You can cross-promote it, and that makes a massive, massive difference, because there's a lot of time there might not be boxing fans, but someone's watched a football game, and then the boxing carries over, you know, and those fans will watch that fight. So you have to understand how big Sky is in regards to marketing, right? And DAZN, I'm not saying DAZN's not a good product. It's a boxing fan's dream. It really is. It's a phenomenal product, right? I don't want it to go. I fucking love it. It's a great product. What more can you ask for? 50-50 fights. You've got the biggest fighters in the world fighting there, right? And do I care that some fights are on pay-per-view? No, I don't. If Canelo and AJ, they're massive stars, right? I don't mind it, right? But for £7 a month, right, you can't fucking argue with DAZN. It's a great product, right? But is it sustainable? Because at the moment, it doesn't look like it is. Because when are they going to start making money? So they have to fix those issues. But going back to AJ, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I think if you're Sky Sports, you're probably thinking, well, hold on. If we give this guy mega money and he gets obliterated in a USAC fight, right, or he gets taken out comprehensively, where do we go from there? Now, AJ will always be a star, and this is what people seem to forget, that he's an absolute megastar, right? Megastar, AJ. So he'll always bring eyes. Win, lose, or draw, he will always attract attention. He's a legitimate crossover star, right? Could be the biggest in boxing, right? Legitimate star. So, but you are thinking it does damage the brand and reputation. If it's a close fight and it's a more competitive fight and he really puts it on the line, it won't damage him that much because USAC's that good. But if he gets taken out and it's not competitive, like the last fight, there's problems, isn't there? There's major problems. So really, who wants to throw a load of money at someone when they know they've got a massive fight coming up where they're not expected to fucking win it? Do you know what I mean? So I think Sky are probably thinking, well, let's just see how this fight goes, and then we'll go from there. And AJ's probably thinking, well, fuck you. You know, this company's giving me fucking millions. They want to tie me down to a 5-year contract. I'm going to go with them. So it's going to be interesting to see, because AJ won't want to leave Sky. He won't, because for that brand, we all see the advertisements and this and that, and him being on Sky, and you know, he's been the face of boxing for Sky Sports. DAZN doesn't have that in regards to marketing. They don't. You can have Eddie Hearn, right? But Eddie Hearn is Eddie Hearn, right? As much as a good promoter Eddie Hearn is, people don't tune into boxing to watch Eddie Hearn, right? They don't. So there's just a major problem. There's just a major problem with DAZN. It's baffling because it's such a good product, but it's just in the infancy period. It's not really young boxing fans. It's sort of older people as well. You know, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds. You ask them. You ask your dad. You ask your uncle. You ask your granddad. Do you watch DAZN? They'll say no. They don't know how to fucking stream it. I know people say it's lazy. All you've got to do is get it on your TV and your computer and all this. But I'll be honest with you, I can't get it on my TV in my flat. I fucking can't. I've got to watch it on my computer or on my phone. For whatever reason, I can't get it in the bloody App Store. And it is it's annoying. Really annoying. Right? But a lot of people are having that problems with it. Hardcore fans will watch it because it's a dream. Of course it is. Right? But it's that to really make a success in boxing, you have to have casual fans, you have to have people who don't watch boxing tuning in. And will they click onto the Dazn app? It doesn't look like they are at the moment, but you've got to give it time. And, you know, they've got AJ, they're throwing money at Canelo, and now it looks like if they get AJ, I mean, they've thrown everything at it. If it doesn't work, where do they go from there? Because there's no bigger stars than Canelo and AJ. If you've got Canelo and AJ as on your books as a broadcaster and you're still not making money, there's issues in there, right? It's not to do with the product, it's how the message is coming across, right? That's the issue with it. What do I think will happen if you ask me? I think the only way AJ doesn't sign with Sky is if Sky backs out. I think maybe they might think this USEC fight's coming up. I don't know if he's going to win that fight. Do we want to throw millions at this? That's my thing. If they don't, it'll go to Dazn. But I also think Sky. I don't think he'll leave Sky. I don't know. If you, my gut feeling is he won't leave Sky. I think this is just a smoke screen to just delay the fight and delay the fight. Anyone who knows anything about Saudi Arabia knows how the fuck can you have a boxing event in August, in July, in September? It's so hot out there. Outdoor event as a boxer? Are you fucking joking? Go and ask people. They'll tell you the same things in that part of the world. It's unbearable. The heat, if it's inside, right, air-conditioned thing, then it's different. But the last AJ fight in Saudi Arabia, it was an outdoor stadium, wasn't it? So I can't see it happening in August. Can't see it happening in September. If it does happen, I think it'll happen December, November time. I don't know. Maybe it will. I don't know. It's hard to say, but it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. What I will say is you can't take everything what the Sun says. So this might be a smokescreen for something. It might be a public negotiation. I think it is a public negotiation. I think AJ wants more money from Sky, and I think by putting this out, they're putting the frighteners on Sky, and then maybe that'll up the money. I don't know. I'm only speculating, but it's fascinating to see how it plays out. Let me know what you think. What do you think's best for AJ? To be on Sky Sports? To go on Dazn? Ultimately, who do you think he'll end up with? Like, comment, subscribe, let me know.